And then there were 14. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Birds Blast with Kyle Quinn here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network, and also your boy Matty B on the call. We have made it through another regular season. Let's pour one out for the regular season, I guess. It's going way too fast these days. Another regular season in the books. But we got bigger fish to fry. Kyle, on this Thursday afternoon, bring on them 49ers. Good afternoon, Kyle Quinn. How are you?
Good afternoon, Matty B. It's good to be talking about playoff football yet again for, what is it, the fifth year in a row?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Yes, it is. 5 straight seasons. I think Nick Sirianni has never missed the playoffs. Yet, you know, for a guy with so much success, Kyle Quinn, why is the rumor of John Harbaugh being the next Philadelphia Eagle head coach seems so persistent these days?
I don't think it has. I haven't heard anything like that.
Maybe I just hear the voices in my head saying it. So, and that could probably be a lot. All right, Kyle. But before we do get on to the 49ers, I want to remind everybody here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network that you're at the beginning of our broadcast day that we'll see before it is completed just the Flyers Maple Leafs postgame. We are going to move the Gridiron Weekly to Sunday, and then I am not doing my show tonight. A last-minute scheduling problem has occurred. So, yeah, get all your It's a Wrap Sports fun in now while you can, because all you have to look forward to tonight, which probably will be a good show, the Clear the Ice postgame. But Kyle, we're all going. Listen, I am going to talk about the final game of the year very briefly because there were some things to be sort of seen. The way the kind of football gods worked it out. Again, Eagles, Commanders, 425, Bears, Lions, 425. So we're going at the same time. We're battling for a potential number 2. The Lions beat the Bears. Eagles then go out and lose to the Commanders. Tanner McKee and the rest of the reserves played the majority of the game. First, how did you evaluate Tanner in this game?
I thought he played terribly.
I disagree.
I mean, it felt to me like, and I'm assuming you'll ask me about the rest of the offense as a whole, the play calling, stuff like that. I thought it looked like Sirianni and Patullo were trying to prove a point. And, I mean, it depends on what you want to take from it, but I did think they were doing a lot of different things. Obviously, they went under center a lot. They were throwing over the middle of the field more. I just thought Tanner played poorly. I thought it was once again, as we've said a lot of times this season, you and I have at least, that the quarterback play wasn't good enough. And, to be expected when you have a 6th-round pick like Tanner McKee, an unknown in the NFL, has not really seen too much meaningful NFL action. I didn't think he played well. I thought he missed a lot of open guys, whether he's not throwing it or he was just inaccurate. Tried to force that ball in the interception. I thought throwing 40 times, Tanner, I thought played pretty poorly.
Yeah, 21 for 40, a touchdown, an interception. He did throw for 241 yards, and he did throw mostly after Devontae Smith got his 1,000 yards. Congratulations, Devontae Smith, by the way, on a 1,000-yard season. But he was throwing primarily to the reserves and the backups. I disagree. I mean, I'm not technically speaking. You're right. It wasn't the cleanest game, but what I wanted to see, and as you mentioned, maybe they were trying to prove a point. I don't know what point that was, that they don't like Jalen Hurts or they don't trust Jalen Hurts. Yeah, the playbook was seemingly a little bit more freer, and there was a little bit more creativity, a little bit more old-fashioned quarterback stuff happening with the Eagles. And he did throw for close to 300 yards. So, listen, first start of his career, correct? I mean, that was really his first start ever.
No.
Last year against the Giants, he came in.
He played later on. He played the full game against Dallas.
Wait, when was this? Last year?
Last season, yeah.
I don't remember
I thought he played really well in that game.
Second start of his career, same context, different animal. I didn't see, honestly, what I saw from Tanner McKee on Sunday. I thought he would thrive with the first team if he happened to be under center.
Maybe. I mean, like, would it have been a different story had all the starters been out there? Probably, right? But they weren't. I'm just looking at it from what happened in the game. I thought he was. I didn't think he played well at all. I just don't. I mean, you can say it's because they had backups in, or whatever. But I thought the primary reason. Well, really, they decided they didn't care about the game, so they lost the game by playing all the backups, right? So that's that. But I thought, really, if you want to get into the actual game from minute 0 to 60, I thought the primary reason that they didn't win was because the quarterback didn't play well.
Yeah, they did lose 24-17, 11-6 on the season. I had them at 10-7 to start things out, so I feel pretty good. What you have, 12-5, I believe it was, Kyle?
I think so, something like that.
So we were pretty much in the ballpark, and I'll give us a pat on the back. Trust me, as we get to the end of all this and we start reviewing some of our beginning season picks, we're going to need all the pats on the back that we're going to get here because it did not work out well for either one of us picking these division winners, these last place teams. It was a disaster.
It was a weird year.
Absolutely a weird year. 11-6 on the season. Now, the rest first for us, final time, I think we'll bring this up this year. The way it worked out, the Eagles could have positioned themselves as the number 2 seed. It didn't work out that way. Are you still I mean, again, we talked about it last week. It was pretty much the consensus being that rest was the way.
Yeah.
Do you still feel that way?
Yeah. I mean, of course, like I knew going in that was a possibility when I was pushing for them to rest the starters. Like that was with the backdrop of knowing that there was a reality. There was a world we were living in where we're sitting there Monday or after the game Sunday, like, wow, crap, we could have had the 2 seed. I mean, we knew the Bears could lose. We knew the Lions were going to play them tough. And then we knew that we could lose too. So I knew that going in, and I'm still very comfortable with the decision. It actually worked out. I think the bracket works out great. I mean, if you want to consider that their path now is home game against the Niners, probably. I mean, most likely, we'll see. I mean, the Packers are favored, but then you think you might be going to Chicago. I'm not overly afraid of playing in Chicago, and then you either get Seattle with Sam Darnold in Seattle or the Rams at home. Right. So the way the bracket worked out, I think it works out great because now you have Seattle and Rams beating each other up before we would ever have, if we get that far, before we would have to play them. So I think the way it shook out ended up being perfectly fun.
Listen, if Sam Darnold pilots the Seattle Seahawks to the NFC Championship game, we're going to have our hands full. If they're still standing at the end of all this and he's won 2 playoff games, we're going to have our hands, or I guess it'd be 1. We're going to have our hands full. I'm telling you, I just really believe that. Now, again, I'm not putting all my money on Sam Darnold in any way, but I still feel going to Seattle, that place is a house of horrors. The Eagles defense, Seattle's defense, they match up pretty well, but we're getting way ahead of ourselves. Yep. Let's focus in on the 49ers. But before we do that, let's go over some bird stat packs for the season. That's it. Regular season in the books. We're going to talk some numbers. For the game, for this game, the Eagles were 2 for 3 in the red zone, finished 31 for 44, tops in the NFL at 70.4% effective in the red zone. Number 1 in 2025 in the NFL. Kyle, it's funny because as we saw this team kind of go week by week, didn't seem like they were really executing well in the red zone, but they ended up being the top team in this league.
Yeah, I mean, and that's probably the thing they did the best this season, and I think a big part of that was the way they were able to get Dallas Goedert involved because it wasn't a big tush push here. Yeah. And Goddard ended up having the best season of his career as an Eagle, at least like touchdown wise. So big props to Dallas Goedert and the way Petula was able to use him in the red zone this season. Yeah,
and especially in a contract year, I'm sure he's really happy about that.
Yeah.
Jose Perez chimes in and says, Bo Bichette and the Phillies will meet on Monday. Okay.
No, wrong show.
Oh, man, that's all right. Hey, hopefully that's not the only thing we're talking about on Monday. Hopefully we're talking about 2 positive things on Monday. Bo Bichette of Philly. That means JT Realmuto's long gone, and that might mean he is long gone if they're actually scheduling a meeting to talk about. Now I'm way off. Okay, back on task. But first half points, the Eagles did put up 7 in this game. Finished the season with 211 first half points for a 12.4 average. Second half points, they put up 10. Finishing the season with 170 points, a measly 10-point per half average. Kyle, I know we're getting into the playoffs, and I know we've done 5-6 years of this shit, and you be back and forth. You're not it's all out of context. You got to take every game. Some points come easier, some points are not necessary, blah, blah, blah. But Kyle, I don't know if we can really gloss over 10-point average in the second half of football as you're preparing to get into the playoffs. That number scares the hell out of me.
Well, I'm not glossing over it. I guess that the second half part is what I would gloss over. They've not been a good offense this year. I mean, we know this. We don't need first half, second half numbers to tell us that they just haven't been a good offense. They've been an inconsistent offense. Hell, they went 2 entire halves, 2 second halves this season where they didn't complete a single pass. So, Of course, they're going to be bad.
Yeah, they did. Penalties on the game. 9 penalties for 123 yards. Mainly the second, third string, fourth string guys. Still, they're continuing a trend that I think echoes more with the coaching than anything else. Kyle, 117 penalties for 7 average a game, and they've gone over the 1,000-yard mark, 1,073 penalty yards for about 58 penalty yards a game. Second time in Eagle history that they've gone over the 1,000-yard threshold on penalties. This, Kyle, could be the end of the playoffs if they cannot figure this out. Now, yes, heading into the Commander game, the last 3 games prior, it was better. But, Kyle, this is something that I know you're looking at. I know a lot of other people are looking at. I don't think it's being talked about enough, but this has been an Achilles heel for this team all year.
Everything's worth looking at when you're talking about going into a postseason field here where one play, 1 point can decide your entire season. So, penalties matter. It all matters. And you just hope that the trend of it sort of going downwards at the end of the season with the starters in is they continue to trend that way.
They did force 2 turnovers, finished the season with 26 turnovers last year when they finished the season, which was a spike from like week 9 on. They really turned it on. And they had like 5 turnovers going into that game last year. This year, it's been a pretty consistent, hasn't been overwhelming, but it's been consistent. And I don't need overwhelming. I just need them to force the damn turnovers.
Yep.
They finish over 1 turnover forced a game, which is positive. And then a bigger positive number, only 1 turnover committed, and they still come out with only 15 turnovers on the year, less than 1 a game. Those 2 numbers definitely got to make you feel good going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's one of those things where, we've yelled and complained all season about how they're too conservative, stuff like that. And I had said, if they want to open it up a little bit, I'm okay with a turnover. As long as as long as you make sure it doesn't kill you, but in the playoffs it can kill you. So, that's one of those things where you do probably want to dial it back a little bit. So,
they did let Tanner get sacked 3 times. McKee was kind of open season back there. 35 sacks on the season, 169 yards, 2 sacks a game. It's funny. This team cannot run block worth a damn, and even with Jalen Hurts holding on to the football, they are still in the top tier of NFL teams when it comes to protecting the quarterback.
Yeah.
Which again makes things, which really again confuses things about the overall problem with the offense this year is what is the problem here? Because they're still pass protecting well above average.
Yeah. All season they've been a pretty good pass protecting unit. It's always been the run blocking thing that I think's been the issue. And I guess to Hurts' credit, he hasn't been sacked a ton this season. And I think a lot of that has to do with I think a lot of these plays you're seeing end with him throwing it away, throwing it out of bounds, which is good. I mean, it's better than a backbreaking sack. But you're right. It is interesting to see that number go down, but the offense still not really get any better.
They did not get to Josh Johnson. I don't know, Mark Rippon, Doug Williams, Joe Theismann, whoever the hell else was playing for the Commanders on Sunday for any sacks. 42 for the defense on the year. That's 2.5 a game. That's really good. They definitely amped this up. Early in the season, they got the pressure, but they weren't getting the sacks. They remedied that by the middle point of the year, and it's been open season ever since. And as we get into this playoffs, especially with our first opponent, whose offensive line, again, they're calling me to come in and try out for the left guard position. They are so thin, the 49ers are on offense. You would imagine, even though he doesn't blitz much, but Uncle Vic is going to send them in this game.
Yeah, he should. I mean, I don't know if he's going to need to get creative with the blitzing and stuff. I think there's a lot of good reason to feel good about the defensive line heading into the postseason. I mean, Jalix Hunt's sort of on that same trajectory Nolan Smith was at the end of last season, where he just gets better and better every week. I mean, he's the first Eagle, I think, ever to lead the team in both sacks and interceptions in a season, which is great. I mean, he's a former safety, and that's really shown for him this season. But he's been awesome. Jordan Davis having the best season of his career. You think Jalen Carter's coming back? He had a great game against Buffalo last time we saw him, and Jalen Phillips, of course, has added that other element to the other side there with Jalix Hunt. So I think a lot of good reason to feel good about the defensive line.
And on the final 4th down efficiency of the season, Eagles were over 3. Did not convert any 4th downs. 11 for 21 on the year. Lowest numbers that I've seen of this stat for a couple years. Only 52% effective on 4th down. As Kyle has said multiple times, death to the tush push. It might. Obviously, they're probably going to outlaw it anyway. But are the Eagles just getting a head start on that?
Yeah, I don't even know if they are anymore. It's not like it feels like it's sort of faded into obscurity. Just for whatever reason, we're not using it. Nobody's really talked about it a lot at all since the beginning of the year when we were using it. It felt like every single game, every single play. But I don't know, for whatever reason we've gone away from it, and it's sort of I don't know if it gets put on the table again.
And it's going to be interesting what they do this winter with it, and if it does survive another year. I mean, you're right. It looks like the Eagles have kind of gravitated away from it, and I don't know. I mean, have you noticed it though? I mean, the thing is, this team hasn't really been in too many 4th and short situations this year. It's been indicative of the offensive play.
No, but they've been in 3rd and short. They've been in 3rd and 2, which is that's a spot last season where you run the tush push twice. I mean, they've been. I don't know. Just I felt like they've had a lot of opportunities to use it, and they just haven't.
All right, and on this game, Kyle Quinn, he went with the Eagles to win this football game. He was wrong. I did go with the Washington Commanders, and I come out on the winning side. Again, I'm going to pat myself on the back because I wasn't too accurate with that this year. I finished the season 6-11. Kyle 8-9. So we're both under 500. But you know what? You were obviously closer. I had you had Tanner McKee as your game MVP. I had Scary Terry. I'm okay with giving it to Jay Luxon, even though they lost.
Yeah, sure, fine. I mean, that game's just so whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, absolutely. It is so whatever. But so we'll give it to Jay Luxon. So that means on the season, I was 1 for 16 picking the game MVPs, and Kyle was 2 for 15. We got to work on that, Kyle. We got to step that up next year.
Got you beat though.
Yeah. Okay. Really, Kyle? You're going to put your 2 and 15 against my 1 and 16?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I guess you're right. I'd be picking higher in the draft than you. That's right.
2 is better than 1.
Okay. All right. Let's turn the page to why we really are here, and that is the battle. The actual defense of the Super Bowl is now on officially, as the Eagles will enter the wild card against the number 6 seeded San Francisco 49ers. The Eagles are the 3. It'll be in Philly on Sunday, and the Gridiron database is reporting now. This has not been verified, but the Gridiron database is reporting that the Eagles are going to go in their green tops, their white bottoms. San Fran going in their Wentz whites, which I don't think they're going to wear those, but that is what the Gridiron database is reporting. You'll see that when it happens. Weather for Sunday. A mild day, close to 50 degrees in Philadelphia. Weather probably will not be a factor. How do you feel about that, Kyle? Is that West Coast, East Coast thing? Weather, is that, I guess if it was 50 degrees in Chicago, that'd be a different story. But
yeah,
are you mad about this, that the weather's going to be nice?
No, for some reason, I don't think Hurts has a great history of playing in very cold weather. So maybe that's okay.
Very good point.
Would you like it better if a West Coast team was coming in playing a real cold game? Sure. Brock Purdy also famously not very good with the weather. I do think, however, by kickoff and through the game, it'll be dropping and the wind will start picking up a little bit. So we'll have that. I'm assuming when we're in the meat of the game, it'll be mid-30s with some pretty decent winds. So.
Now, either way, though, it's not the snow of the Rams game last year. It's not you can see your breath. And again, we have hopefully multiple rounds of playoffs to go here, but I'm okay. And especially if you're going to go to that game. Well, I don't know. With playoff football, they can't feel what's happening in the weather. But all right, Kyle. Injury report as of yesterday. Before we dive into the injury report, a little bit of a contextual statement here. 49ers are beat the hell up. All right, Kyle Quinn. They are struggling to keep people upright. That defense is down to like nothing. They got problems all over the place. We're going to go over their injury report first because it's going to take them more time. Of course, the big news here: Trent Williams dealing with that hamstring problem. Obviously, San Francisco's best offensive lineman. He did not participate in practice as of yesterday. This is yesterday's injury report, not today's.
He did practice today.
He did practice today. So, Kyle, is it obviously a hamstring? There's no instant remedy to those injuries. He's probably going to have to deal with it. But if you're San Fran at this point, is a healthy 100%, or I should say a 60 or 70% Trent Williams better than a 0% Trent Williams?
Yeah, of course. They need Trent Williams out there. Trent Williams is going to play. If Trent Williams doesn't play, then they're going to have to put like Big Al Zafiri out there at left tackle, and that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, it's going to be I
don't think Big Al can block Jalen Hunt. So
no, I don't think Big Al could block me.
No, I don't know. I don't know about
that. Ricky Pearsall, the wide receiver, also did not participate. Again, as of yesterday, if you have any updates, Kyle, please share them. Dealing with that knee ankle problem. D. Winters, the linebacker, again, another problem area for this team when it comes to keeping healthy linebackers, did not participate because of an ankle problem. The tight end, George Kittle, limited due to an ankle problem. It just goes on and on and on here with limited hamstrings. Full. I mean, they are dinged up. They are banged up, Kyle. For the Eagles, obviously Trent Williams is the big one, but for the Eagles, Grant Calcaterra with a knee problem did not participate. Brett Toth, concussed, did not participate. Lane Johnson, back on the practice field as of yesterday. There's conflicting reports here about whether or not it's more of a mental situation with him or a combination of the mental, physical stuff. But, you would have to imagine, though, if he can go, he's going to go.
Yeah, and I think he will. He was practicing again today. I don't know if he was limited or full, but that whole thing with him was weird because when he got injured, they didn't put him on the IR, and he was supposed to be, 4 to 6 weeks. It's been 8 weeks. They never put him on the IR. There was reports he was going to be ready for the Bills game. He wasn't. And then, of course, nobody played in the Commanders game. And, now all of a sudden we're 2 weeks beyond that. So you'd like to think that he's going to play in this game. I think if he's ready, like you said, he's going to go.
Now, with that being said, with the Shadow Fleet thing, are they trying to protect him from something? Do you think is it more than just a physical? Like I mentioned, I know there's some reports about him. He struggled with some of those things in the past. Do you think they're trying to sort of shell game it a little bit here?
I don't know, and I don't want to speculate on what's going on upstairs with the guy. But
right.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you what the exact reason is why it's sort of been weird and everyone's sort of been in the dark about it. But back on the practice field 2 days in a row feels like a good sign for me.
It does. Jalen Carter with the hip was limited. Nakobe with the hamstring was limited. Dallas Goedert, knee limited. Epps, concussed, limited. Jalen Phillips, full participant with the ankle. And Aziz Ajari was a full participant with the hamstring. So boiling it down, 49ers are pretty clipped up. The Eagles are fairly healthy.
Yeah.
But they're dealing with their share of bumps and bruises. I would have to say that the injury situation does favor the Eagles heading into this game.
Oh, big time. I mean, if this holds, Eagles probably have, I think, 21 of 22 starters from the beginning of the season playing, barring Andrew Makuba, who's been out for a while now. So, way, way healthier than the 49ers.
All right, Kyle, with all that being said, I wanted you to give me your summary. First, I want to hear a summary of what you think we're going to see on Lincoln Financial Field on Sunday. Then we'll get into the matchups and the keys to victory. So take it away.
All right. So, man, I'll save the full prediction for the end there. I got a doozy for you. But I think we're going to see, probably more of the same annoying, struggling offense with a little dash of some more Jalen Hurts design runs. I do think that's the one that'll ace up their sleeve that they've been withholding for a while this season, and now's the time to unleash that. I do like that. I do think the Eagles will be able to run the ball better, given that Saquon maybe tanked because of the Niners situation back there, and the Niners are just bad defensively. So I think we're going to be able to do that. I'm not saying this is going to be a 30-point show. But I do think the Eagles are going to be able to do just enough on offense. And the Niners, I think we saw what the Niners offense looks like against a real defense in Seattle last week. I think we're going to see a little bit of a copy of that in Philly on Sunday too. So overall, I'm feeling pretty damn good.
Are you prescribing to the shadow playbook that allegedly a lot of fans think that's the Eagles are keeping under lock and key to unleash it in the playoffs?
No. I don't think they were playing possum or anything like that. But I do think that there was a concerted effort to not run Hurts as much for whatever reason during the regular season. And I think it was because of this exact situation is that now they're in winner go homes every single week. And I think I would like to think that we're going to see a lot more of that.
Concerted effort really isn't the word. Last year, the Eagles averaged 3.6 designed run plays a game for Hurts. The year before that, it was 3.8. This year, Kyle, 1.1 design runs per game for Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
Concerted is not even covering that. That's an off the cliff thing, and I think there's something to that.
Well, no, but I think that's where I'm going with it. Is there was clearly something where, for whatever reason, they had agreed, whether it was Hurts, whether it was the coaches, whether it was all of them. That they were going to dial it back a little bit during the regular season, and they have. And you just hope that was the reason. and then we'll be able to see a lot more of that in the postseason.
So heading into this game, I have a similar sort of, image. I do see the same thing, and I see it a little bit more. I think, honestly, because we're going to get into the defense versus the offense, just conceding the fact that the offense ain't going to be any good. Let's ride the defense to a Super Bowl. That strategy might work this week because the defense has had a week off for the most part. I don't think they can do that all the way. I think they're going to have to get an offense situation at some point. But for as far as this week goes, if you can stop the one-headed monster, which is it's all about Christian McCaffrey. If you can eliminate Christian McCaffrey, you probably got about a 75% chance of winning this football game.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, offensively, listen, Kyle, I agree with you. Am I asking for 35 points? No, but I'm also asking him to goddamn complete a pass in the second half.
Yeah,
I mean, we got to find a happy medium between scoring 35 points and no completions in a half of football. And if they can't, I don't care. It could be the 85 Bears, the 00 Ravens. It could be the 15 Broncos. I don't care what defense you're running out there. They're not going to make it. If you cannot give them something, I just don't think they're going to be able to ride the defense to a Super Bowl championship. But I do think they can ride the defense in this game.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're talking about winning 4 games in a row here against playoff teams. You can get away with it once. You can get away with it maybe twice. Maybe even by a miracle 3 times. One of these games, they're going to have to do something on offense. It sort of reminds me of the Chiefs last season in their run, and they didn't have a very good offense at all. But when they played Buffalo, they put up 32, and that was the one game that that they needed that to get to the Super Bowl. There might be a game where Eagles might need to get up there a little bit. And it's probably going to happen one of these games coming up.
Mevin F chimes in with he loves the Sirianni versus Vic play calling matchup, or not Sirianni, Shanahan. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking there. Hunt should have a field day getting to Purdy. We're going to get into our key matchups here in a second, and I definitely think that might be one of them. Thank you for joining the show, by the way. Please like, share, and subscribe on all of our platforms. We're trying to grow this thing from the ground up, and I've done a pretty damn good job in a year of doing that, but I need more help. All right, Kyle. Give me some key matchups. Give me 3 key matchups Sunday, Eagles 49ers.
It was a nice lead in from Beaven there because he actually hit on 2 of them. The one is Vic Fangio versus Kyle Shanahan. That's great versus great. I mean, both guys have a ton of respect for each other. Kyle Shanahan, I think, has come out and said that he's tried to hire Fangio multiple times as a defensive coordinator in San Fran, which, man, that'd be a hell of a combo over there. Shanahan, great offensive designer, play caller. Vic Fangio, same exact thing, but for the defense, and that's going to be a battle of wits. Now, I mean, that's probably that's peak if you're like a football nerd type of matchup right there, like looking to see what those guys are doing. That chess match there, that's number one. The other one was the other one he mentioned there with I'll say Jalen Hunt versus a hobbled Trent Williams or whoever they're putting on that side. They need to be able to take advantage of that. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that too. And then the other one is it's not quite the same level of Vic Fangio and Kyle Shanahan, but we'll say Kevin Patullo and our offensive coaching staff versus Robert Saleh and the 49ers defense. Now, Saleh, very good defensive coordinator, an excellent defensive coordinator. However, not really working with too much back there. I mean, their leading sack getter is Bryce Hoff, who hasn't had a sack in, I don't think, 8 games. The Niners have 29 sacks all season, which is like historically low. It's insane. So you have a great defensive coordinator with bad personnel versus, probably not a very good offensive coordinator, but with great personnel. So that's going to be a pretty interesting one too.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of give you a similar, but a less, I guess, informed matchups. I'm not going to get all nerdy like you two guys are doing. Maybe I'm not football versed as well, but I like Christian McCaffrey versus the Eagles linebackers. That's what they run McCaffrey out of the backfield. They run him in slot. They run him all over the place. He is Brock Purdy's safety net. If George Kittle's not available, he's always looking for McCaffrey. So can McCaffrey get out in space? And if he does, what kind of damage can the Eagles linebackers limit him to in that space? So that's going to be, for me, a very interesting, because honestly, as we said, you shut McCaffrey down, I don't think the 49ers can win this football game. And then also, again, Jalen Hunt, I'm going to get a little bit more broader than that. Yeah, Brock Purdy versus the Eagles front 4 and Vic Fangio and that scheme. The Eagles we've seen it time and time again. And there's one thing that I cannot sit here and gaslight anybody over is the fact that this defense, when called upon, has pressured the hell out of some of the best quarterbacks in the NFL today. I mean, we've watched it all season long, week after week after week against Mahomes, against Goff, against Stafford, against them all. And they can do it. Obviously, they're going to have to do it again because I don't think Brock Purdy can withstand that pressure and keep him on his toes. And then the Eagles offensive as a unit versus the 49ers defense. We've talked negative, or not negative, but the defense of the 49ers is dinged up. The Eagles offense is the 22nd ranked offense in the NFL. They're banged up in other ways. So this is a negative force versus a negative force. Who comes out on top? I know a lot of people are already kind of leaning on the 49er defensive problems, like, oh, it should be no problem. Listen, we're not slinging the ball around either, and we haven't all year.
No.
So there is some sort of negativity versus negativity here.
Yeah, sure. And I agree with you. The key is probably McCaffrey. I will say, watch out for Kyle Shanahan's not a dummy. He's going to want like the weakness on the Eagles secondary. Yeah. Although I thought he's played better is the cornerback too, the second corner. And Shanahan's going to try and find a way to exploit that with Purdy.
I agree. All right, Kyle. Keys to Eagle victory on Sunday at 4:30 at the Link.
Yep. I want this Eagles defense, the defensive line in particular, to be like cats and spend a lot of time on Brock Purdy's lap in this game. It reminds me a lot of the Jared Goff Lions matchup. The quarterback type is that they're both rhythm guys, timing guys. When Brock Purdy gets in rhythm, he can be tough, man. So get him out of rhythm. You need to be able to disrupt timing, make sure you're in his face all the time. He's pretty good playing out of structure, but you want that to be the case all night as opposed to him just standing in the pocket and ripping it, because that's going to be a long day if they do that. The second one, run the damn football. I don't care if you haven't been good at it all year. Run the damn football, whether it's with Saquon, whether it's with Tank. Those linebackers, Trent Williams is probably going to play, so Big Al's probably going to have to go kick out at linebacker for them. And then the other two linebackers are me and you. So it should be easy pickings if the Eagles want to take it versus that defensive line, which is soft, and then those linebackers who are even softer. So that they should be able to pick that apart. And you would think the Eagles are going to be able to run the ball. And then the last one is do the little things right. Don't let the little things kill you. The Eagles, not insane with the turnovers and sort of creating turnovers like the Chicago Bears are. But they're a lot better than the 49ers. The Niners do not win the turnover battle very often, and somehow they have such a weird season where they've been injured in the toughest division in football. They don't create many turnovers, and they have a terrible defense, yet they were in position for the 1 seed last week. So really weird season by the 49ers, but they don't do that well, the turnover battle thing. Now, flip side, Eagles penalize a lot. Niners don't have too many penalties, right? So their Eagles need to be on the plus side of both of those things. They need to not get overly penalized, and they need to win the turnover battle.
Yeah, I equate this to a lot like the MLB playoffs. Most sane fan bases don't stand up and watch every single pitch of 162 games. A lot of the Phillies fan base does. But I guarantee you, even the most casual fan base is tuned into every pitch of the playoffs in baseball. Same thing in football. Every snap is going to be contested. Every snap is important. Every snap is the game, essentially. And it's those little things, like you said. I know turnovers are one of them, but we can get even littler than that, and that's the pre-snap penalties, the penalties in general, the clock management. Can we get the ball snapped before 1 second, at least one time, or more than one time in a game? Those are the kind of things to me that show preparedness. We know what we're doing here and whatnot, but I agree that's a huge one. That's actually my second key to victory. My third one, again, same as yours, you got to pressure Purdy. I feel a lot better about myself, win, lose, or draw, if we did not let Brock Purdy win this football game. Christian McCaffrey does it, so be it. Whatever. But I can't have Brock Purdy be the one, so you're going to have to get in his face. I'm going to take my chances on McCaffrey and Kittle, and I'm going to take my chances on just all out slaughter on Brock Purdy. So, and then, as you mentioned, flip the script a little bit, man. Again, I'm not also talking about a shadow playbook, but come on. Come on. If you could, we know you can run the football. We've seen you do it. Jalen Hurts has the ability to get out in space himself to run, or to run and throw, RPO. It's okay to do that. It's okay. Get them fans. Listen, if you can get those fans into this game early, have you there?
Yep. Sorry.
Okay. No, that's all right, man. All right, Kyle. There we go. Let's take our amazing prediction abilities into the playoffs here. I need a winner, a score, and a game MVP.
Yep, it's a new season. It's the postseason. I got a new haircut for it. We're gonna be better. We're gonna be better at predicting these things, Matt. Okay.
All right.
And I don't do this very often. I'm guaranteeing you an Eagles victory on Sunday. We're gonna win 24. I think 24 is the number. 17, and that 17 is gonna come in the fourth quarter when we're already up 2 scores, and the Niners think they have a little cute drive. I think they're in it, but 24-17. I think the Eagles go out there and show why they're the team that knows how to win. They just went on this run last season, and the 49ers are, they're still nipping at our heels a little bit. They're below us. They're beneath us. They're the 49ers. We're the Eagles. This is our era, and we're going to win Sunday.
I don't know about all that. That seems a little bit more. Okay, and then who is your game MVP? Saquon Barkley. All right. So, new season. Again, Kyle on that new season motif. We're going to put all that stuff behind us. Saquon's going to come out and be reminiscent of the 2024 Barkley, right?
Yep.
All right, Kyle. Listen, I ain't gonna lie. I'm back and forth. I've been back and forth on this all week. I'm torn. I'm actually letting my mind do this work for me, and it's not good. It's hurting me. But I'm gonna go, and I'm also gonna go ahead and go with the Eagles based on the fact that I don't think we're going to see it that much different from this offense this week, but I also don't think we're going to see that much different from the Eagles defense, which means they're going to carry them to a victory here. But buyer beware. They got to figure this offense out as we get deeper into the playoffs. So I'm going to go with the Eagles, and I got them 28-24 winning this football game. So I think there's some points scored in this game, mainly from the specialty or from the defense. I think we got a pick 6 in this thing. I think the defense creates at least 3 turnovers in this game, and I think that seals the victory for us. So
I was going to say 28 is good, but then you added the pick 6 from the defense, so it's really 21.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying the offense is going to score 28 points.
I feel pretty good about that.
But all right, and my game MVP, give me DeJean. I'm going to go with Cooper.
I like it.
I'm going to go with Cooper DeJean. All right, Kyle. Let's see if we can get this thing back on track too. Question of the week time for those of you that are new to the program. This is the point where I ask Kyle one of you more. I try to pick his brain with as much as I can. And get him thinking. I don't know if this one's going to do it this week, but it's the best one I could have. If you were the defensive coordinator in this football game for the Eagles, and you can only limit one of them, you can only eliminate one of them, who would you go after? McCaffrey, Purdy, or Kittle?
Go after as in I can negate.
You can eliminate. You negate negate their performance in the game.
Oh, it's Purdy. It's Brock Purdy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kyle's going Purdy there.
I mean, I know McCaffrey's probably their best player, but Purdy, since he came back, I mean, that offense has been rolling, save for that last game against Seattle. But I think what Seattle did in that game was neutralize Purdy. So I'll take that. Yeah. I got. Oh my God, yeah.
Do you want to enlighten me on this? I didn't hear this. You want to tell the story here?
Hugh was talking about this one time he was in a meeting with, you're familiar with Eric Mangini?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, Hugh accidentally slipped and referred to him as Eric Mangina.
Sure, we love that.
and just like our buddy here, I lost it as well.
All right. Well, I got to start listening. Listen, I used to be a WIP. I had a problem with it, actually. I was every show calling in. I got to get back into it a little bit more, but
I got
great banter.
I got a question of the week for you, Matty B.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Should we as Eagles fans be rooting for the Bears to win or the Packers to win? Because here's the scenario. The Bears win, we go to Chicago, or the Packers win, we're at home, but it's against the Rams. Do you rather go on the road against a weaker opponent or at home versus a tougher opponent?
I have no faith or confidence. Listen, I trust Stafford more than I trust Caleb Williams, but Johnson, I trust him more than I trust McVay. I think we're due. I think the Rams are due against us. I honestly do. They've been nipping at the heels. The Eagles have been blowing the Rams out. The Rams have been squeaking by the Rams lately, and I think that check is about to come due. So give me the Bears on the road.
I agree. I'm with you. I want to go to Chicago.
Yeah, give me the Bears on the road. But all right, Kyle, listen, little programming note to those of you tuned in right here. This program will continue as long as the Eagles win. So if the Eagles win on Sunday, we'll be back next Thursday. If they do not win on Sunday, we will return on the Thursday after the Super Bowl, wrap up the season, give our little, kind of postscript, maybe talk a little bit about 2026, and then we'll be done. So just remember, as long as the Eagles win, we're coming back week to week. But before I do let you go, Kyle, here it is. Are you interested in talking about this at all? The 2026 Eagles schedule?
Why not? Why not?
So what do you? We got the 9 home games. We got interesting. The Rams are coming here. Seattle's coming here. Battle of Pennsylvania is on next year. We got the AFC South. Go on the road to San Fran. Out in the desert against Arizona. To Soldier Field, and in Tennessee and Jacksonville. What do you think about this, Kyle?
Just initial look at it, like that's another really tough schedule.
Yeah,
but not too many breaks. I mean, Tennessee and Arizona are down. We'll see what happens with Tennessee, where they have the number 1 pick quarterback. See what they do at coach. Arizona's going to get a new coach, but I don't think they're going to be any good next year. We'll see about the Titans. Washington probably due for a bounce back, just with Jaden Daniels. We'll see what they do. More weird stuff going on with them. I don't know what the hell Adam Peters is doing, getting rid of Cliff Kingsbury when the quarterbacks was pounding the table for him. That's a weird one. Dallas, always finds a way to win a certain amount of games and scare everybody. And then look, the Giants, man, I know they're always a joke, but if they get Harbaugh or they get Stefanski, you have Jackson Dart, you have Malik Neighbors coming back, you got Abdul Carter is probably going to have a better year. The defense should be better, and they have the number 5 overall pick. That one could be tough, man. And then everyone else is, we're looking at playoff teams, barring, minus the Colts, who started off the season hot, and their season got derailed by a major injury at quarterback. So that again, I mean, it's a first place schedule, but just initial look at it is that's going to be another tough one.
I agree, and I do like the one. I like the fact that we're not playing Tampa next year, and that was in part thanks to what happened on Sunday, because we got a break. Now, if they would have made the playoffs, we would have had Tampa here, but it was just good to take a break from Tampa for a year. Honestly, I like. You're right. It's going to be interesting how they sort of like set these games up. Like, how are they going to work in Arizona? How are they going to work in the 49ers? Is one of these games going to be international? Is the Bears game going to be out in November, or is it going to be in early October? Yeah. Some of those things that kind of factor in. As you mentioned, the bounce back thing. Is Indianapolis going to return to form under Danny Dimes? Are the Giants with Harbaugh, if that's where he goes? The Redskins, Commanders come back. Yep. Is Jacksonville for real? I mean, that's a 13-win team. So, you're right. It might not look to the casual fan as a tough schedule, but it really is.
Well, we're looking at we're playing the NFC West, which is the best division of football.
Yeah. And
then we're playing the AFC South, which, Jacksonville and Houston, both playoff teams, maybe the best division in the AFC, maybe. And then Indianapolis, who almost made it. So those are 2 of the best divisions in football right now.
Yeah. So unfortunately, it's going to be a lot. Well, hopefully we're not really getting into this for a few more weeks. And then after that, I hate the 5.5 month freaking offseason. I really do. They got to do something about that. But all right, Kyle, where I let you go, where can they find you?
Yep. So every day on the midday show, 10 to 2, 94.1 with Hugh and Joe producing that program. And then, of course, on Twitter @_Kyle_Quinn. And Matt, I will be seeing you next week because the Birds are getting a win.
I think they are. Maybe next year the Eagles will be awarded back-to-back home games. LOL. They were awarded back-to-back home games this year. This is it. They played at home this last week, and they're at home this week. So
that's true.
But I hear
they awarded themselves the back-to-back home games. Here.
Yeah, that's ridiculous that they didn't get back-to-back home games. That's obviously absolutely ridiculous.
Yep.
So hopefully that works itself out. But all right, Kyle, it's always a pleasure, my man, and we will be probably talking hopefully next week. As I said, if there's any round of the playoffs that I'm feeling pretty comfortable about, it's this one.
All right. All right, Matty B. Good talking to you,
talk
buddy.
later,
Go Birds.
Man. Go Birds. All right, Kyle Quinn. Always great to have Kyle on. I do feel comfortable about this week. I do. I absolutely do. But then again, I don't know if you should be listening to me say that. I'm not in on the Eagles, and I really, they lose, but I don't think they're going to lose this week. All right, before we say goodbye, we are going to do my pick'em segment here. First and foremost, let's review what I did last week, week 18. And an impossible week to pick games. Of course, we do this straight games. I don't play spreads or anything like that. I give you who I think is going to win. I was 10-6 last week, which was pretty impressive for week 18. For the season, 171 and 95. 171 and 95. One of the best years I've had in a long time in picking games week to week. So again, another pat on my back in this season when it comes to picking games. Here are my wild card picks this week. I do like the Eagles against the 49ers. Give me the Rams over the Carolina Panthers any day of the week and twice on Sunday. Also, I like Chicago over Green Bay. Buffalo and Jacksonville. I know the Jacksonville is sort of in that situation where they're, the new kids that have danced. I'm not buying the fact that Josh Allen is garbage. Buffalo wins this football game. Chargers in New England. I like New England on a Sunday night game. That's going to be a fun game to watch. I like the Patriots. And Houston versus Pittsburgh. Give me the Texans. I'm not a fan. I'm a fan of Aaron Rodgers, but I'm not a fan of Aaron Rodgers in his 40s. So give me Houston in this game. And there you have my picks. What's going on, man? My day is well. How are you doing, Jorge? It's good to see you. All right. So remember, everybody, Birds Blast will return next week if the Eagles win. If they do not win, we'll be back Thursday after the Super Bowl, and we'll review the season and go from there. Here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network, unfortunately, due to some programming, scheduling issues, the Gridiron Weekly Report will not be seen tonight. It will be seen on Sunday at noon, and my show tonight, The Final Word with Matty B, will also not be seen. So make sure you're back for post-game Flyers and Maple Leafs after the Flyer game. And then tomorrow, the Philly Friday Frenzy with Big Al. The best of the It's a Wrap Sports Network for the week on Saturday starting at 8 a.m. Post-game Flyers Lightning, that's me. I got that one. And then on Sunday, we do all this thing all over again. So until we speak again, you guys have the great rest of your afternoon. Make sure you're checking back here on the network and all the great, wonderful things we're doing. Take care.